Yo, what's going on, GameFaceStudios? It is Trader the Boston here, aka the King of Boston. Today we're back for the start of a new series I'm starting up here over on GameFaceStudios. And much like an MLB 13 The Show, I did a very similar series. It's going to be an MLB 14 The Show franchise, fantasy draft franchise specifically. And this time we're going to be taking control of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, it's not exactly a franchise, it's really just a season mode. I like to do franchises just season by season. That way you can switch things up. If you don't like your team, it's only a one-year thing. You don't have to worry about the future too much. You can just kind of draft players for the now. It's a lot like fantasy baseball, which I guess I kind of enjoy in the sense, especially when you get to kind of use the players in game or whatever. But take a look at the picks here. I'm showing the first, I believe, 11 rounds. And my theme for this team, I always like to go in with a kind of an objective and try to gain an identity. What my goal was, my goal was that I drafted two great defensive players to start out of positions I feel you need great defense. And then my next four picks were all pitchers, all great young arms that can head my pitching staff. And then as I got into kind of round 7, 8, 9, 10 here, I looked for cheap contact guys. Chris Johnson, contact in the 70s and 80s. Scudero, contact in the high 70s, low 80s. You're going to see, I think my next pick is going to be another cheap contact guy. Yep, Victor Martinez, contact in the 80s. I think he has like 99 contact versus right. Not a great defender. None of those guys are. Obviously not that fast. Don't have a lot of power, but contact. And I think having a contact-happy team will help me out, especially when I actually use these players. Got Koji Uehara. Also, I'm going to pick up Mike Morse. Check out those hitting stats. Very surprised to see his hitting stats so high. And we're going to end up trading Masahiro Tanaka, and then we drafted John Jay and Craig Gentry as a center field platoon. I'm going to flip those guys for Alex Gordon and Shane Victorino. Our lineup was a little bit weak. Our first two picks were in Darrelton Simmons and Salvador Perez. Two good hitters. Well, Perez is a good hitter. Simmons not that much, but two great defenders at, like I said, positions you need defense at. And then I'm also going to flip Yangervis Solarte for Rajai Davis and Nepunto. Davis provides me a bit better of a platoon player than Ryan Ludwig, in my opinion, just because, as you're going to see, I have Nava and I have Davis leading off with DHs, so I felt Davis fit that role more than Ryan Ludwig did, and I had originally drafted Ludwig as my right-handed platoon outfielder. So nonetheless, you can see our pitching staff right here. Bullpen guys feature Koji, Chris Martinez, Chris Capuano, Octavio Dotel, Brad Ziegler, guys like that. And we're about to get into the first game of the season. It's actually the 5th game, but it's the first game I'm going to play, and it's against the Boston Red Sox, my favorite team in Boston, the 5th game of the season, because I wanted to use Daisuke Matsuzaka. That 5th starter spot is definitely open for competition right now after trading Masahiro Tanaka in the trade for Shane Victorino and Alex Gordon. We have a spot open. Calhoun's pretty much got the 4th spot on lockdown, but behind him we have Daisuke Matsuzaka, Bronson Arroyo, and Aaron Harang. Now, I'm giving Matsuzaka the first opportunity at the position because he does have major league options left. So I'm going to use Arroyo last because I'm afraid that if I do end up bringing him up just to call him back down 2 starts later, he is going to get claimed off of waivers. So my plan right now is to give Matsuzaka a couple starts. If it doesn't work out, send him back down, use one of his options, then try Harang. Same thing, send him back down. Now, he does not have any options, but I think I can pass him through waivers. He's only a 74 overall. But Arroyo, on the other hand, 78 overall. Guy that just signed for, I think, 30-something million in the offseason. So a guy that I think would be wanted by teams if I did try to pass him through waivers. Nonetheless, here we're in the bottom of the 1st inning. Both pitchers get out of the inning unscathed. Matsuzaka allows a 2-out double, but he gets Mike Napoli to strike out swinging. So, top of the 2nd inning here, first batter is Mike Morse. Wade Miley on the hill for the Red Sox, and Morse is going to get this one into left field. That'll get down for a base hit, and that's going to be the first base runner of the afternoon, or of the evening, for the Milwaukee Brewers. Mike Morse, a player that I drafted for his hitting abilities. He's not a great fielder, but he had some crazy high contact and power ratings. Next batter, 1-1 count. Victor Martinez hits this one to deep center field. That one is back, and that one is going to clear the wall into the center field kind of black triangle area out there where the cameraman resides, or lurks, I should say. And that is going to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead. V-Mart, the former Red Sox who played there for a season and a half, ends up getting a 2-run homer against this former team. Wade Miley serves that one up, and Victor Martinez, a guy who, like I said, is a cheap contact guy, got pretty late for a guy with his hitting ability. He's going to have to play first base. He DHs in real life, but he will have to play first base in this franchise just because we play in the NL. Salvador Perez would be the next batter, the 1-0 count to Perez from Wade Miley, and Perez is going to get that one into center field for a base hit, so we're starting to hit Miley a little bit here. Good sign for the Brewers offense. Like I said, our strength is going to be defense and pitching. We're going to be in a lot of low-scoring affairs, I think, this year. So if the offense is, doing it, or really if the offense is playing like it is right now, I'm going to be pretty happy about it. Marco Scutaro goes down looking, though. Great fastball from Miley. That's going to make it 2 away. And Darrelton Simmons, the 9-hitter, up next. 2-0 count. Simmons is going to line this one at center field, but it's right at the center fielder. That will be caught, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So the Brewers pick up 2, but it's 2-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the 2nd here. Evan Longoria here with 1 out in the inning. 1-2 count. And that is going to be hung deep into right field. Evan Longoria hits that one out. A solo dinger for Longoria, the current Tampa Bay Ray, and the Red Sox killer of sorts, playing in the same division. Gets a home run for his rival team, putting it into the right field bullpen. As you can take a look at the replay. Just right at the belt, a little bit below the belt, but still Matsuzaka can't leave that pitch there in the 1-2 count. So, a bad pitch, and that's going to cut the lead in half. 2-1 will be the score. And Daisuke will have to now try and regroup and get out of this inning. So next batter is Cole Calhoun, the 1-1 count, and Calhoun fists this one into left field, inside ending that, and that'll bloop in for a base hit. Davis over to field. It's going to try and fire into second, but Calhoun is in there with the double. I don't know why, but it seems like the throw animations in this year's game take a little bit longer than they did in last year. So next batter is George Qataris, or 2 batters later, because it's 2 outs in the inning. That one's drilled into left field, back at the wall, and that one is gone. George Qataris, another former Red Sox, getting a home run right there, a 2-run shot, and that's going to give the Red Sox the lead, making it 3-2. Boston on top. George Qataris, not a guy you expect to be doing that out of the bottom of your lineup, but he gets the job done, hitting the homer off of Daisuke Matsuzaka, and you can see manager John Farrell very happy about that. Qataris touches them all, brings home Cole Calhoun as well, and the Red Sox have taken the lead. So we're into the top of the 3rd inning now. 2-2 count. Wade Miley still on the bunk. Alex Gordon up, and Gordon is going to take that strike 3 look, and Miley settling in nicely right here. That's going to be the end of the top of the 3rd inning. Gordon goes down looking. A rough at bat right there for the Kansas City Royal. But now we're going to skip ahead into the top of the 4th inning. 1-2 count. Morris up. Miley looking for another strikeout, and he's going to get it. Morris tries to check his swing, but the umpire says he goes around, and Morris will have to sit down. Another strikeout for Wade Miley. So later in the inning, 3-2 count. Salvador Perez, 3-2 count. Another strikeout. That is going to be ball 4. Perez, great batter's eye. Taking that pitch, I am hitting on Hall of Fame difficulty, which I never noticed it until I bumped it up recently, but you do see a lot more pitches when you play on a higher difficulty like that. But Scutaro into deep right center field, that's going to get all the way down, but it one hops up over the wall. So the Red Sox catch a break right there. That looked like an easy run, but it goes over the wall for a ground rule double. Next batter is Chris Johnson, who lines this one to left center field. That one is back, and that's going to be caught on the warning track right in front of the big 37-foot green monster. Johnny Gomes is there for the grab, and that is going to retire the side. So the Brewers threaten, but cannot get anything going. Now, 1-2 count, Cole Calhoun back up, and Calhoun's going to go down a hanging changeup right there. Not exactly where Daisuke wanted that one, but he gets the job done. Top of the 5th, 3-2 count, Shane Victorino up. Another deep count for the Red Sox, and Victorino lines it to left field. Misplayed by Gomes. He went for the dive. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Victorino rounding second, heading for... He's actually going to stay at 3rd there. Probably would have tested that if there were only 1 out, but with 2 outs, not a big difference in being at 2nd and 3rd. Can't make the 3rd out at 3rd base. That is the cardinal sin of baseball. So we're going to hold up there. We get a speedy guy at 2nd base. 1-0 count, though, and oh, I was so frustrated with this at-bat. A 1-0 count, and I roll that one over to the 2nd base, and with probably my best hitter in the lineup, Alex Gordon. So just a terrible, terrible at-bat right there on my part. Really wanted to get something out of that inning. And Mike Morris just gets frozen right there on the slider. Beautiful backdoor pitch by Wade Miley. So we're on to the bottom of the 6th, runner on 2nd. Adam Jones goes down. That fastball was left over the plate, but Jones cannot do anything with it. And we are through 6 here in Boston. The score is 3-2, 5 hits apiece for each side and no errors. V. Martin Qataris, the former Red Sox catcher, is getting it done, and Miley has pitched pretty effectively. 6 innings, only 2 earned. Longo up again. You know what he has done already today. Can he do it again? 2-2 count, and Longoria to deep left field. That's a no-doubter over the green monster and on the Lansdowne Street behind Fenway Park. Evan Longoria with the 2nd home run of the day off of Daisuke Matsuzaka. You can probably question me for leaving Daisuke in, and had I remembered that his stamina is actually only like a 70 in this game, I probably would have taken him out, but he was only at about 89 pitches, I would say, and at one point he had retired like 12 in a row, so I kind of had confidence with him moving forward. But 99 pitches now, 0-1 count. Qataris is going to pop this one up into right field. Right fielder is going back. I believe that is Alex Gordon out there. He's going to make the grab, and that's going to do it for Daisuke. He gives us 7 strong innings, 4 earned runs. Not exactly what I would have loved out of him, but he's only our 5-star. You can't expect too much from him. Gordon's going to shoot this one up off the wall. That's going to get down, and Gordon's in there with a leadoff double here to start out things in the top of the 8th inning. trying to get some runs back on the board and get back into this ball game. Down by 2, V-Mart up now, 2 batters later, 3-2 count, and V-Mart's going to take this one to right field. That's going to get past the diving right fielder, rolling all the way to that, whatever you want to call it, it's not really a corner out there and right, but V-Mart rounding second, heading for third. Outfielder's taking a long time to get this ball in. Martinez rounding third. He's headed home. The throw in time, and V-Mart, Victor Martinez is out at the plate. The tying run. I don't think I would have gone there if there had been less than 2 outs, but with 2 outs, I decided I would go for it. Didn't really think he was going to make it. Actually closer than I thought, but the idea of getting a walk-off, or not a walk-off, but inside the park home run, too much for me to pass up. 2 outs, runner on third. Rafael Betancourt, the new pitcher, induces the ground out from Mike Napoli. He gets through the 8th inning unscathed to run to the top of the 9th. Last shot for the Brewers coming up. Ryan Madson will take over, the Red Sox closer. He's only had 1 inning of work so far this year, but it did result in a save. So let's see if he can get his second save of the season. 2 outs, 3-2 count. Chris Johnson up. And Chris Johnson pops this one up into center field. Adam Jones back at the warning track. He makes the catch up against the wall, and that is going to do it. The Red Sox take home the victory. The Brewers fall to 2-3 on the season, and that is going to do it. Thank you guys for watching GameFaceStudios. Let me know if you want to see more of this series. I'm pretty excited for it. If you have any roster suggestions or you want to comment about how I built my team and all, feel free to do so. I'll be reading at least most of the comments. So, nonetheless, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.